Here.
Yep, sounds good. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So I just want to say thanks to everyone. This is Jimmy Davies with the EveryBlack expert from EveryBlackEvent.com. And tonight we have a young man. His name is James Humphries, and he's a graduate, received his Bachelor of Arts from Roosevelt University in Integrated Marketing Communications with a focus in public relations back in 2012. He's the oldest of three siblings, Sada, Raven, and Mason, and the uncle of Brooklyn, and the proud son of James and Primlavora Humphries. I hope I didn't mess up the name, your mom's name.
Yeah.
Serving as a resident of Bellwood, right outside Chicago, Illinois, for the past 25 years, his desires, passions, and qualities and education have proven to help him build a strong skill set with unmatched values and morals. Since 2012, he's worked diligently to break into his dream career field. With hardships of the economy and many pushbacks from employers and companies, he was not receiving the type of feedback that he expected. So almost giving up, he created a sign that read, "Not homeless, but hungry for success. Take a resume." And he stood downtown in the Loop of Chicago, Illinois, breaking through the millions of resumes submitted online. A photo of him standing there soon went viral on social media platforms, viewed by millions. Since that time, he's written a book entitled 50 Things Every Student Should Know. So I'm going to, without further ado, right now, we're going to bring on Mr. James Humphries. Thank you,
Hello.
James, for joining us tonight. You're on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Jimmy Davis and EveryBlackEvent.com. I'm extremely grateful to be a part of this this movement that you have going in this live webinar. It's my first webinar. I'm super excited, super nervous, and I'm just really excited.
Well, you're doing great. Just tell your story. That's all I say. Yeah.
Awesome. So you just gave a lot of it during the reading of the bio. My name, of course, is James Humphries. I'm 27 years old, just turned 27. But my story started May 31st, 1989. And from there, I just knew that I was destined to be great. And I'm excited to be in that movement, in that glow. So fast forward 2012, I graduated from Roosevelt University with a degree in integrated marketing and communications. And that degree is basically an advanced communications degree. So during that time, I learned how to be successful using several different marketing vehicles to successfully promote a brand, product, or service. So direct messaging, social media, event planning, advertising, public relations, which is my focus with the IMC degree. And from there, after graduation, I knew all I had to do was to submit some resumes, and I was on my way to receiving my dream job, if you will. So after graduation, had some fun. I was really excited about the accomplishment. I was the first sibling to graduate since I am the oldest, and started sending the resumes out, and I was not getting the response that I expected. It didn't bother me right then and there because I knew that it would take some time. Days, months, years started going by. And I was working as a district marketing coordinator with H&R Block. I started there as a tax pro. However, because H&R Block is seasonal, there was no real gainful employment there. And I wanted something permanent and that was going to be all year round. And recently, with the conversation with some of my friends from H&R Block, they have removed the entire marketing department. So from the vice president of marketing in the market, all the way to the marketing coordinators, the role is non-existent for the company anymore. So I'm glad I left when I did. But it was a great job. I loved it. Years later, still filling out resumes, applications, sending resumes, even going to different companies, the actual offices to hand my resume in, and I was not getting a response. I went to job fairs, went to networking events, and I just didn't know what was happening. I got my resume done by some resume professionals because I thought, well, hey, maybe I'm missing something, maybe something isn't right. And I learned about the different filters that resumes go through when you submit them. So most of the time, they're not really even being looked at. They're not being looked at. They're going through a feeder basically and looking for keywords to match the correct person to the job position. Did that, still was not receiving any feedback. One day last year, actually, around this time, I knew that I wanted to have gainful employment before the holidays. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, I wanted to have a job. And I was downtown a week prior visiting Mongolia Bakery, and I was eating my cupcake, and I seen a guy, downtown, a homeless man with his sign up, asking for food money or whatever. And I thought, well, hey, maybe I can come down and, make me a poster just to pass out flyers. So I went home, talked it over, thought about it. I said, I'm not doing that. I don't need to be out here begging for a job. The next morning, I woke up, had some more inspiration, and I said, I'm doing this. I got my resume printed on some nice resume paper. I made my sign, hopped on the train, and went downtown to pass our resumes. I was tired of not having the employment that I felt I deserved. So I get off the train on Lake Street in Chicago downtown. And if you're not from Chicago, or if you are, that area is flooded with traffic. It's a tourist attraction spot. The Chicago Theater is there. There are several different news stations, some of the best food, some of the biggest hotels are there. So I knew, like, okay, this is a good spot. A business owner is going to walk past and take this resume. I just need one person to take this resume and present me with an opportunity, basically. So I stood there. Before I got there, I said, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm going home. I'm not about to put up this sign. And then I thought, as a district marketing coordinator, my role was to do a lot of grassroots marketing, a lot of foot traffic marketing. So going out into the streets in the blizzard during the winter time here in tax season, it's extremely cold. So I said, if I could do that for EveryBlack or for any other small business that I worked for, then I can do it for myself.
Right.
And when I thought about that, I opened up my sign and found a nice spot for it. I had my resumes in hand, and I stood there. It was scary. But the first person that walked past was this lady coming outside of a building, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I'm just so happy for you, and I hope that you get exactly what you want." And she said, "I would hire you, but I don't have my own business, and I just started this job as a temp." And I was like, wow, thank you for the kind words and being able to see, my determination. After that, several other people started walking past, and everyone was so encouraging. No one was looking at me like, oh, this guy is standing here asking for a job. Of course, there were some comments made online that, people don't know me, so I really don't care about the comments because I did the traditional thing. But at that moment, standing there, all the comments were positive, uplifting, amazing, and it made standing there easier.
Right.
I had about, I think, 25 resumes in my hand at the moment, and my goal was not to leave until all 25 were given away. I didn't ask anyone if they wanted a resume. I didn't force my resume on anyone that walked past. I just stood there and people read the sign, they came up to me and say, I'll take a resume, I'll take a resume. A couple of hiring directors that were in the area, Marcom Media or MediaVest, which is part of the Publicis group at Leo Burnett. Some of those hiring directors came out, set up interviews right away. It was pretty crazy how fast they moved, and it was just really great. I remember one guy asking if he could take a picture, and I said, sure, take the picture. And it happened to be this picture right here that had gone viral on all social media platforms. So my little idea exploded, and I didn't even know the life that it had taken on itself because I didn't have a Facebook page. So after that day, after I left from there, I got back on the train, and I got home, see my parents in the car, and I said I'll just pass out some resumes downtown on State Street with my sign. And my mom said, oh, you need to do that every day or something like that. Her or my dad, I can't really remember now. But after that, I got a call. Someone called me and said, hey, I just learned about what you did today. So he was in Atlanta, and he said someone had called him, and he was inspired. He was the first person to call, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And he asked if he could interview me for his blog, and I said, sure. And actually, he did the same thing too in Atlanta. He took a sign and went downtown near the MARTA and said that people were taking his resumes, and he got hired immediately, like a week after that. And he's still at the company now, so I'm glad that happened. But the next day, just went through my day as usual, and it didn't really think too much of it. Sunday, I was in church, and my phone was just ringing, text messages. And I said, you know what, let me put my phone up because I'm at church, and I just really wanted to be devoted to that service and the time. After church, I got a call from Sean Lewis at WGN, and he said, hey, James, this is Sean Lewis from WGN, and I want to help you get a job. And he told me that the picture had gone viral, and at that moment, I think had received maybe 2 million views. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. From there, WGN Radio called and asked to do some interviews. I have close ties with iHeartMedia because that's actually where I did my first internship. And the producer called and said, hey, we can get you on his show. He's now in Atlanta, so I was on the Willie Moe Jr. show just to tell my story. That was the first interview that I did. And Angela Martin from Inspiration 1390 is one of my good friends, and she asked to do an interview. Then I got a call from the WGN Morning News senior producer asking if I would be interested to come on and share my story. And of course I said yes.
Right.
So, excuse me. Went to WGN. I had no idea, no expectations. Just really wanted to go and share my story, why I did what I did. Just was hoping for exposure, that someone would see it with real opportunity and give me the chance to work, learn, and just express my passions and talents within the marketing field. Get on air. I'm talking to Robin Baumgarten and Larry Potash, and all of a sudden she asked me, well, some people might think that, you know, you're not willing to work your way up. Are you willing to work your way up? And I was like, of course. Next thing I know, the camera just flew to these other people in the room, and I'm like, wait, what is going on? They started to introduce themselves, and I was just blown away and shocked because it was a real surprise. I had no idea that hiring managers from Leo Burnett, the top marketing advertising agency in the world, the vice president of Hyatt, the hiring director for Flowers Communication, group, they were all there to present me with real opportunities. And I was blown away. I was extremely happy. It happened on August 27th. I remember because that's my niece's birthday, and her birthday is coming up again. And from there, I just received more and more and more opportunities via social media, LinkedIn, uh, Facebook, everywhere. It was crazy. It was awesome. I think that I was a bit behind in things still. I wasn't as prepared as I would have liked to have been. So during the different interviews,
Mm-hmm.
I went there, I think I went to Hyatt first, and it was awesome. They had a whole welcoming committee. I had lunch on the top floor with the president, the CEO of Hyatt, and it was crazy. They had their own private chefs, and I think they were doing Mediterranean week, so everything was Mediterranean food, fresh, and it was an awesome experience. After that, I met with maybe 5 or 6 different hiring managers,
Wow.
and one of the things that I realized was I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to do something in marketing. I know what I did at EveryBlack and I love. However, I had to figure out how I could fit in the Hyatt space. And I think that's something that if I could do it over again, I would have did more research on the organization and figure out how I could possibly fit within there. And I think that's probably the same with all of the interviews that I had. I do think that they were all there in hopes or with the mind to offer me employment, and then at the same time part of me feel like maybe there was a different motive. However, it was a great experience, and I'm extremely grateful to have had it. I've learned so much, made some extremely beneficial connections, and I'm just really excited for that time. So after that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I felt like everything had almost gone back to the way it was before. I had a little breakdown, and I said, you know, all this has happened. I'm not getting any calls back. What's going on? Why am I in this space? Um, and just like I said, that I wanted to go into the situation better, knowing more of what I wanted to do and how I could fit within these organizations. I decided, well, I thought that if I knew what I known as a college student, if
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I know now when I was a college student, I think things would be extremely different. I just didn't know things that I needed to know. I didn't even know that I needed to know them until this moment. So the idea came into my mind. Maybe I should write a book. My mom had wrote a book. She inspired me to write this when I said, hey, I can write a book sharing what I know now as a graduate to help students to be to use their time as a student as best as they can, to take advantage of the resources, to realize and understand that that time is going to fly by. So just maximizing on that to be greatly marketable to companies, employers after graduation, or whatever it is that you decide to do. So I started writing my book, and it's right here, 50 things that every student should know. And these are some of the principles and things and guides that I follow now, and some of the things that I did when I was a college student or undergrad. My favorite part in the book, I would say, is my introduction. I love the entire book, but the acknowledgments and the introduction, it's really who I am. It's my heart, and I'm so glad that I was able to articulate that in the book and to help inspire students. So after the book release, I was still in contact with the senior producer at WG, and she really maintained great communication with me, and I'm extremely grateful for that because so people are moving very quickly, and to just really care sometimes, it's difficult because you got your own stuff going on. But she really maintained great communication with me. So I was telling her about the book. I said I'm gonna release the book late February, early March. She said, "Oh well, we'll have you back on." I'm like, "Are you serious?" She was like, "Yeah, we'll have you back on the morning show, and we'll do a sit down, people to people, with Gaynor Hall." And I was like, "Whoa." She just presented me with two more opportunities to
Wow.
be on national TV. It's nationally syndicated, and I'm just so thankful for the favor of God on my life and the doors that He opened up. And even during the time where it seemed like I can't really see what's happening, He has already moved on my behalf, and I'm just extremely grateful. And when I think about the interviews after the first WGN interview and why I didn't get employment, I didn't realize the answer until after I did the interview when Robin said, "Well, why didn't you get a job? Why do you think nothing happened?" And honestly, I just think that it wasn't the time. It wasn't the right time. I felt like this book had to happen, and in the event where I had accepted and a proposal for hire, I don't think that I would have had time to really pour myself into this book. So I'm just extremely grateful for the time frame. And I'm not sure if I can read these, but Pam, she's saying, "Hi, James. I love your creativity and determination. Can you share a few of your favorite tips from the book? Just a few. I know you don't want to give them all away." Hello, Pam. Thank you so much for your encouraging words. Thank you for joining this live webinar. And I would love to share some tips from my book or points that are my favorite. There's so many, I don't know where to start. I just kind of just flip through it and pick out the one that screams at me at that moment. So right now, I'm looking at be grateful. So I think as a college student, sometimes, well, as a college student, things move so quickly. You often forget what's going on in your life, and it's really a blessing to be a student. There were a lot of times where I almost got kicked out because of finances, or I've heard of someone's story of not being able to complete school, or wasn't able to just really to do it. They didn't have the desire. So I think just being a college student is something that we should be grateful for. I also talk about the importance of networking and having a mentor. I think those are crucial to your success as a student. During this time, you're evolving, you're changing so much. So try and understand who you are at that moment. When you understand who you are during that changing time and period of your life, you're able to make better decisions and choices. So like myself, just growing up in a household with both my parents and the strong morals and values that they instilled in me, I had to remember during those times when I had to make decisions of who I was. I had to understand what I was and who I was. So that's something important. And one more, I think, keep a portfolio. During school, we might keep those papers. At the end of the semester, those papers are going in the trash somewhere. At the end of the year, you're clearing out everything, just throwing it away. You're tired. You don't want to see any more math homework, no more papers that you have to write for your composition class. Keep everything. And if you can, make a portfolio. I think once you graduate, that's what you have to show the world. That's your proof of your intelligence and your ability to really think and make great decisions. So that's a few from the book. After I told the senior producer about the book, she invited me back on. I shared my book release. A couple of weeks later, I did my one-on-one interview with Gaynor Hall to just talk more about the book. During live television, I only had maybe 2 or 3 minutes to just really talk. So the people-to-people interview with Gaynor Hall gave me about 7 or 8 more minutes And you can find all of these links on my website at IamJamesHumphries.com if you're interested in viewing them. Um, After the book, and during that time, I accepted a job opportunity with a company, and it was really great. I learned so much. I got to really use my skills and my passions, and was able to develop those passions as well, those skills and talents. I decided to leave towards the end of May, just because I felt like I had a greater opportunity with things. I knew that after the book, I wanted to do something hands-on. My marketing strategy is to, one, people should be able to see you. So digitally, physically, like they should be able to see you. They should be able to hear you, hear about your message, hear about your brand. They should be able to take something away. For me, at H&R Block, it was either some candy, a mint, a green mint, something they was going to take away and remember you by. So I feel like I have those covered. I have the WGN interview, so that's me in the air. I have my book, that's something that can be taken away, and I decided to do a Hungry for Success tour, which I'm working on right now. And this is actually part of my tour, and I'm so excited. Mr. Davies invited me.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to have you.
So this is of my one of my events for my Hungry for Success tour, and it's so amazing to see like your goals and your dreams become alive. And I don't take this moment lightly at all. I'm extremely grateful. I'm bubbling in the inside. But to be successful, I think that you have to be able to maintain those emotions. You have to be able to express them, but still get the work done. At WGN, I was just super excited. At Hyatt, super excited, couldn't stop smiling. And the goal should have been more about work, expressing my talents. And I feel like something that I don't do, or something that I haven't been doing, which I want to do, is to express what I can do, what I like to do. I think people see the creativity side and the bold side of staying on State Street, but I'm an excellent writer. I love to write. I'm a leader. I know how to get the job done. I know how to get work done. I'm innovative. I'm creative. I can inspire a team. I think it's important to think outside of the box as well when you're doing things. There's so many people in the world, and a lot of them are doing the same thing that I want to do. I have to figure out how to separate myself from those people, and I do. At H&R Block, in my last tax season, I increased our new client growth 11% over of what our intended goal was, and I was the only district in the whole region of 9 other districts to do that. Our goal was 7% new client growth, and I think the district behind us was maybe at 2%. And that district didn't even have a marketing coordinator, so it's really the people there, and I think that's what makes things happen, people. So we were at 11% for new client growth, and I increased our retention as well. So that's what I like to do. I like to be hands-on with marketing initiatives, really identifying, strengthening a brand, and figuring out how to make it successful at the end of the day. That's what I enjoy, whether it's digitally, through print, whether it's through direct mailing, which I'm working on now. And all these skills I'm using for my own self now. And this weekend, starting last week, I started doing some street marketing, if you will, or grassroots guerrilla marketing. And I was hanging my flyer around. I don't have the flyer with me, but the flyer that I just created for my tour, I've been through the west side, the south side, the north side, just posting my flyers and just meeting so many different amazing business owners. And one place I went in, it was a bookstore, and it was some elderly ladies there, and it was like, it was really hot outside. They said, "It's real hot out there, isn't it?" I was like, "Yes, it is." I was out of breath. Almost got hit by the bus, but I went in there to give them a flyer, and she was like, "They got you working hard, don't they?" And I smiled inside. I said, "They sure do." And I smiled because I was using my talents and my passions, my skills for myself to promote my own brand and my mission. I'm just extremely grateful that God is making that happen for me. And I did it a lot before for my mom. She has an organization, and I pass out flyers for our Thanksgiving food drive. And I'm glad that I have these skills. Audrey, James, you are an amazing young man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I'm a regular human guy, and I need encouragement as well. And words like that really encourages me and helps me to remember what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I think it's important to help others. I come from a family that gives back and helping. I'm so glad because I feel like so many years I tried to figure out what it is that I wanted to do, and I was being prepared for that all this time. If I would have received a gainful employment at Deloitte after college graduation, my question is, would I have really been happy with my life? You know, would I have been happy with that daily flow of going to work, 9 to 5, and sitting at a cubicle? Yes, I love the income, but now I feel like I'm having so much fun because I get to do what I love. I get to share my ideas, the ideas that I have, and it's just opening up so many doors. I'm extremely grateful. So after those interviews, after I left the company, I've been working on my Hungry for Success tour. I'm working on HTML and coding right now for some emails that I'm working on. I'm excited to pick up that skill, sharing my knowledge in my book with students all over. And if no student change, if I can just help one person or inspire one person to just really fight for what they desire to be. I know in life things happen and everything moves so quickly, and we get comfortable, and we lose out on, I think, what we truly want to be. And one of the reasons why I decided to leave the company was because it wasn't even really what I wanted to do. So I remember standing on State Street with my sign, and I accepted the position because I needed some money. But the skills I learned was amazing. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. I think people should do what they want to do. But like I said, I did learn so much, and I realized how my skills could fit in that. And I just decided to use 100% of my energy, time, and efforts on this tour, on this brand, and help students. And school is starting back, so I'm going to a couple of back-to-school picnics. And I thought about this the other day too. People are collecting book bags and pens and paper, to give to students, but what does it really mean if we give them those tools but don't really teach them how to use them, or the importance of the pen and the paper? And I feel like, well, that's how I fit in. Okay, this pen and paper, write down your ideas and your goals, have a checklist. It goes right along with it, and I'm just extremely grateful for that. Have you considered just working for yourself full time as a career? That would be ideal, and I feel like right now I'm at the beginning to make that happen. So one of the other reasons why I decided to leave the company that I accepted at the end of May was because I don't know what will happen if I work on my goals. You know what I mean? If I don't work on my goals, how do I know if I'm going to be successful or not? So this is me sacrificing weekly pay, gainful employment, to see what happened if I follow my heart and follow my dreams, follow my goals. And I think something amazing is going to happen. I mean, just from standing on State Street with my sign, I didn't expect anything to happen. I was hoping that one person would get my resume and have an opportunity. And what happened after that, it it catapulted, it blew up into something uh, that I had no idea. So like this, I have no idea what's gonna happen. But what if I do it? What if it I'm not gonna say what if, because I like to speak things into existence. My tour is gonna be successful. My goal is 100 schools or organizations, um, youth groups. I'm booking people right now, places, and just creating that opportunity for myself. And as that word of mouth continues to build, I see myself all over the world. California, Miami, just inspiring students to be their best. And I love that I get to start that here in Chicago, especially with everything that's going on. Um, I feel like I'm at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing with the right people. And that's something that Angela Martin says as well. And I'm just happy to, I don't see nothing but success from here. And I think that mindset, I do something every week called Mindset Mondays on my Facebook page. And it's basically how I want to set my mind up for the week. And it has really been a great turnout, great feedback. People are telling me I need a Mindset Monday shirt, and I now am adding people on. I had my mom this week, and it's really inspiring people, and I'm so glad. Audrey, I understand you will be touring and promoting your book. What your tour schedule will be on your website. Yep. So I do a lot of the promoting on my social media pages. James Humphries, or I am James Humphries, and I'm going to add that link to my website. So right now on my website, if you go there at IamJamesHumphries.com, there's just a registration page. So my goal, my mission, my ideal is that, let's say if I send an email out to the principal or to the dean of students at Proviso West High School, she's going to say, oh, yeah, I think this man would be amazing to come and speak to our students. And he was on WGN and he has a book. He might be someone that could really motivate. I'm going to go to his website, IamJamesHumphries.com, click on register, and sign me up to come to their school. So that's all that I have right now is just a registration page. On social media, like this event, EveryBlack event, webinar with Mr. Davies, I promote it or push it through my social media pages. So a couple of weeks before or whenever I get noticed that I'm able to start promoting it, then I'm pushing it right away. So to answer your question, there is no schedule, but there are announcements about where I will be and the things that I want to do, and I'm just extremely excited about it. Like I said, this webinar is a part of my tour, and all I need is a good 60 minutes for the schools. I plan to do something a little bit different. I want everyone to be able to take something away, something physical, just because I think that helps kids remember, people remember. So that's pretty much the only thing that's going to be different, and just go in a little bit more detail about the book. So if I'm talking about networking, why I think it's important, different ways that you can network, just to be extremely mindful of the resources available to you. You have a great story to tell and show. I know you will be a great speaker. Thank you so much, Audrey, for all your kind words. And I like speaking. I feel like when I was little, my mom prepared me. We had to do, Christmas speeches, Easter speeches. We had to say scriptures at church, and she would have us land up like the Jackson 5, having us recite our speeches. And everything is working for God's good in my life, and I'm extremely excited. So I don't know how much time I used up already, but I'm really excited and enjoying all of this.
Well, it's been great. It's been about 40 minutes we've been live, and
Okay.
I've just been monitoring. We have quite a few questions. What we're going to do is, first of all, do you want to add how they can get in touch with you or buy your book? You want to make sure you get a chance to plug your book. And then tomorrow we'll give you the permanent YouTube link so you can promote your webinar on your social media or wherever you like to promote your webinar that you've done tonight. But I think it's been a good session. Is there anything else you want to add, or maybe contact information on how to buy your book or anything like that?
Yes. So I would like to add that we never know what's going to happen in life. Like, we can't see the future, can't predict things. We can hope for things. And I think that everyone has a dream, or everyone has hope for their lives, or they see themselves uh, being in a certain space. And I think it's important to see yourself. After graduation, I didn't see myself. You know, all I seen was me walking across the stage with my cap and gown. I didn't see myself working. I didn't see myself um, getting paid. And I think that halted a lot of things too. So now I'm able to see myself. I see myself on more webinars and on stage, and I see myself with a microphone, and I see an audience full of students, and I see everyone being inspired and motivated, and me sharing my story, my passion. I want everyone to see themselves walking in their dreams and their goals. So whatever it is, no matter if it's too big or too small, I remember, or people still say that I expect too much, or I think too big, or why is my taste so expensive? And I'm not changing any of those things. Don't change the things that you want. Instead, see yourself in that and work. You got to put in the work in order to make it happen, right? So whoever you are, whatever you're doing, don't give up on your dreams. Someone needs your idea. Some idea or thought that you have could make someone's life easier, like this book, 50 Things That Every Student Should Know. I think that if students just digest the information that's in here and really take advantage of the material, then they will have a different outcome during graduation. And it's not necessarily to work somewhere or for someone, you know? And I thought about that too. This book, it's to help you maximize on the time and the money that you spend in college. Like, I'm still in the process of setting up a Sally Mae payment plan, and I didn't get a job afterwards at university. But with this book, if I had it, you know, I'll be able to make that happen a little bit sooner. So whoever you are, wherever you're doing, don't give up on your dreams. My book can be purchased at Amazon.com. I think I have like 2 or 3 copies left. If someone wants to go there, you can go right to my website at IamJamesHumphries.com, and there you can also, well, you can purchase my book, and I have some cool shirts that says #HungryForSuccess that have been sweeping Chicago. And if you want one of those, you can get that there. If you are interested in registering your school, your youth group, your organization, I'm also speaking to company interns. So after my internship, it was like, bye, see ya. No one's gonna remember you. I think that during that internship, someone should have said, this is what you need to do. This is how you maximize on this. And I had an internship coordinator at my school, and the main thing that person did was just ensure that I was going to the internship and that everything was, you know, working well. So company interns, youth groups, high schools, colleges, universities, I want to talk to your students. You can follow me and find out what I'm doing also on my Facebook page at James Humphries. You can go to my Instagram, got some cool photos there at I am James Humphries. Twitter, I am James Humphries. Snapchat, James Humphries. So everything James Humphries. And you can actually find all those connections or links at my website, IamJamesHumphries.com. Just go down, click on the Facebook icon. Boop, there you go. Just hit follow. I would love to connect with you. I would love to keep in contact with you. So, yeah.
Well, thanks again. Really appreciate it. But I think you're absolutely right. You know, you said act on your dreams, and I think the difference is you did. You had that thought to. I mean, what if you hadn't put that sign out on the street that one
Somebody,
day?
yep.
Yeah, and so I mean, look what's happened from that one act. So keep it up. Don't stop, and we'll be following you. I'm sure a lot of the viewers will be following you as well. So thanks again, and I'm going to close it out for tonight. But like I said, we'll be giving you that permanent link tomorrow, so you can promote your webinar that you've done tonight. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Davies, for this opportunity. I'm extremely grateful, and I'm excited about your success as well. And I do want us to maintain a working relationship. Thank you to everyone for their kind words and your motivation. You know, that positive energy. I'm extremely thankful.
Well, great. Well, next week, I just want to let everybody know, too, next week we've got Alice Fuller coming on. She's a social media marketing consultant. Then the week after that, we've got Dorian Carter. He's built his business as a commercial realtor. And then the following week, there's Dr. Bobby Banks. So we'll be sending out emails and posting everything on our site and social media as well. So thank you again. And I'm going to shut it down now, but we'll be in touch.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.